the Comic DF.
What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video, and this time we are taking a look at the origin of the moon. Now, as always, these are alleged and for entertainment purposes only. There are no facts here, but that being said, if you're not into woo-woo stuff, if you're not into aliens, if you're not into ETs, if you're not into life outside of here, then this is probably not the video for you. So go ahead and check out my pop culture playlist. But for the rest of you guys that like ETs and you want to know what happened and how we came to be, then this is the channel for you, and this is totally the video for you. So as always, if you enjoyed these videos, please give it a like. It really does support my page. Hey besties, hey regulars, how y'all been? How was your new year? I hope you guys are doing great. If you're not a regular, please join the club. It's a good time, and Mercury is still messing up my lingo. So as always, I already did the reading. It's weird. It's weird, but it's fun, and I think it's a great way to bring in the new year. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this video, and you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The links are all down below. If you'd like to book a personal reading, the links are all down below. But as always, thank you so much for enjoying my content. Thank you for starting the new year with me. And as always, let's get into it. All right, besties, so we are going to take a look at the origin of the moon. Now, if you're not into conspiracy, that's totally fine. Go check out my playlist for pop culture and the couple of pick a cards that I have out. I also have videos on psychology as well. But that being said, as always, this is alleged and for what? Entertainment purposes only. So right away, I am being drawn to the asteroid belt. Now, I actually went to Earth Science, channeling, not thinking. Earth Science major here. Okay, so I'm seeing the the asteroid belt, and I know that there's like a theory, right, that the moon was created by the asteroid belt, and there's a crow flying by my house as I said that. What I'm seeing is like ooh, my throat does not want this to come out. Somewhere between truth and conspiracy is the actual truth. Because what I'm seeing is like the asteroid belt and how people think that like the moon kind of was created from the asteroid belt. I'm getting a thumbs up with that. So I feel like that's partly true. However, what I'm seeing, and this is where it's going to get weird. So again, if you're not into conspiracy, it's okay to say that you don't believe in this stuff and just move on with your life and watch my next video. That being said, this feels like something that we don't understand, some sort of life force, because I'm hearing like out of this galaxy, out of this, so we don't understand what this is, and this was a very, very long time ago. But what I'm seeing is like taking the crumbs basically from the asteroid belt and creating a moon. And what I'm hearing is like, this is why we don't see the back of the moon, because it's stationary intentionally. What I'm hearing is observation deck. I know that sounds nuts. You should have expected that coming into this reading. Okay, so I've heard this before, but what I've gotten is that Earth is basically like a school for the soul. So we're here to like learn, evolve, develop. And what I'm seeing is like, I feel like this is more of a metaphor, but then again, I really don't understand life outside of this world, and most of us don't. But what I'm seeing is like beings moving the earth around and going like, you know, like a photographer would go like this. And then I'm seeing like mathematical equations. So there's something about how far away it is from us. Because what I'm seeing is like the ocean and the tides. And then I'm being drawn to how we're 75% water or something around that. And I'm getting a thumbs up again. And it's like, it helped create this version of life. Because what I'm seeing, if you've seen my other conspiracy videos, there was a video I did where it was like I saw a vision of like a god, and it's like Earth wasn't doing so well, so we wiped out the board, and then we're doing it again. So again, this feels like, it feels like a science experiment. Like I keep hearing the song Earth is Ghetto in my head over and over again. This is a place where they create things. This is like their tinkering station. Like I'm seeing like a father that has like a tool shed, right? And he goes in there to like tinker with stuff. We are like the tool shed of the galaxy. I know how nuts this sounds, but they're drawing me to like Men in Black and how they had that like observation center. And now they're bringing me to the Truman Show, the movie The Truman Show. And he lives in the moon. Oh my God. Oh my God. Duh. He lives in the moon. The guy lives in the moon. The guy that created the show for Truman, he lives in the moon. And I keep getting observation deck. And now I'm being drawn to landing on the moon. And it was Neil Armstrong, right? Forgive me. This is not coming from me. I feel like this is why we don't visit the moon anymore. I feel like, so for those of you that are like, we didn't land on the moon, I don't buy that. I feel like we landed on the moon, and I'm hearing we got more than we bargained for. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, Am I More Than You Bargained For Yet? It almost feels to me like the astronauts landed on there, and because like, I'm hearing like in for a surprise. I feel like Neil Armstrong saw alien life when he went on the moon. Because what I'm seeing is like, oh, no, 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 no. And I'm seeing that meme of like Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think it is, where he's like this, where it's like back away. So I feel like that's why we don't go to the moon anymore, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. But again, what I'm getting is like, and I'm being drawn to like the pyramids and how we can't really understand how pyramids came to be. So maybe this is around the same time that pyramids were formed, or maybe it's the same beings that formed the pyramids, because it's like, how is it so perfect? How is it so exquisite? This wasn't made by man. You're right. Pyramids weren't made by man. And I just keep being drawn to how the moon does not spin, and how I feel like there are old, what I'm hearing is like scriptures or writings, or like writings on a wall. So like maybe caves or something like that, where there was, can anybody verify this? Is there like mythology or something that says that at one point there was no moon? Because I feel like if you research enough, if you go back further enough, you will find that at one point there is like something written down that's like there's no moon in the sky. Basically, there's proof that there wasn't moon. And what I'm getting is like science, and I'm seeing like a green thumb. You know what I mean? Like it has to be the right environment in order for things to flourish. So it's something to do with where exactly they place the moon, the mathematical equations to how close it is to Earth's atmosphere, and something to do with water and how it flourishes life. I don't know. There's something to do with the water and how the moon pulls on the water. But what I'm getting is it was originally an observation deck. So what I'm seeing is like different life forms like in there, but looking at Earth, and I'm seeing them with like a clipboard and like writing stuff down. So I feel like the moon is there not only to do the whole day night thing, right? It's also because whoever created whatever was on here when this started, they wanted to watch its performance, watch how it grew. Maybe, because I'm hearing like humanoids. So maybe this was a different time period of human-like civilization, but not quite humans. Because that's what it feels like. Because I'm being drawn to like today, and it feels like I'm hearing like gas station on a highway. Because like, I don't know if anybody's been on like the Mass Pike, but like that thing, if you miss the exit, you're on there for like another half hour minimum. And it's giving me that vibe. It's like nowadays it's not as needed in terms of like the research part of it, but it is still used for like other ETs to meet up. It's like a meetup spot now. This is so weird. I know what I'm saying, y'all. But apparently the moon helped with fostering life in terms of the type of humans that exist today. And now I'm being drawn to like throughout time, I feel like Earth has gotten more and more, what I'm hearing is polluted. So like more and more toxic, more and more pollution. Because what I'm seeing is like, they're showing me someone like smoking outside like a cigarette, right? And the person next to them's like coughing. They can't, because they're not a smoker, right? And it's toxic. And what I'm seeing is like toxic. It's toxic. So Earth is toxic to whatever these life forms are. So that's another reason that they observe from the moon. It's like, we can't come in here, because now I'm seeing like a spacesuit. It's like, in order for us to come down to this density, we have to protect ourselves, because what I'm seeing is like a doctor's room and how it's like very sterile. I feel like that's where a lot of ETs are at, like very healthy environments. And Earth, like what I'm seeing is like pollution, fossil fuel, stuff like that. I feel like a lot of ETs can't handle our dense atmosphere is what I'm hearing. So I don't know what that has to do with the moon, but screw it. I'm going to tell you about it anyway. But it just feels like, if I were to explain, it feels like Earth is, how do I explain this, Spirit? It feels like Earth is like the junk drawer of the galaxy. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how else to explain that. Like, they created life here. They watched us. They moved on eventually, because it's like, these guys got it together. It's kind of a mess, but like they can do it on their own. We're good. And they kind of just left us to fend for ourselves because I keep hearing like free will. So they can't mess with our free will or nothing like that. So any of you that are like, oh my God, aliens, like they're not going to do anything. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I feel like the moon was made to create a different type of living environment on planet Earth. It's like they knew the science, they knew the, yeah, it's like we're a science school. It's really weird. I hope that was helpful. That was just, I don't know how much I'm going to get from the cards, so I'm going to try, but in regards to the moon, I definitely feel like it is a satellite. I feel like it was made by something that we don't understand. I wouldn't say God. I would just say out of this world, way more advanced than we are. I'm being drawn back to the pyramids. So it could be the same group that made the pyramids. I'm not sure. But I just keep being drawn to the pyramids and how, like, you could sit here all day and say that we made them, but we didn't. Okay. So this feels like the moon was created to help elevate humanity. I think this was a time where we were more because what I'm seeing is like apes and stuff like that. So I feel like humankind was different back then. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't think we were as developed. I don't think that we were, I don't know how to explain this. It's very weird. It's like Earth is giving me kind of Mars type of environment. I feel like the environment was different prior to the moon becoming part of the atmosphere. There's something to do with the moon, because this right here is like we're putting the moon into the air. I don't know how, obviously. But prior to that, we weren't leveling up. And so something, again, it's something to do with the tides and the water and how water impacts us so greatly and how we're made of mostly water. Like I'm being drawn to the water and I'm being drawn to the Queen of Cups, and how a woman, a water sign especially, she's going to be very intuitive, very in touch. So I feel like maybe this could have been the beginning of like astrology. Maybe this is when we like hunkered down on astrology. Maybe this is when we got into astrology. But it just feels like this was to help us level up in terms of like divinity is what I'm hearing. Like, I don't know how, I think it helped make us more spiritual. It helped level us up is the only way I know how to explain this. It's like we weren't as evolved. And so I just can't, I don't know how to word this other than it's a science experiment. The moon was put out there and then life began to grow. It's like when spring comes and now you can finally plant your plants. You know what I mean? That's what this feels like. It's like, it's the right environment to help breathe in the type of life that we're wanting. And look, now I'm being drawn to my little skull. Look how he looks like he's, you know what I mean? Like the big skull, like, I can't, Homo sapien, but like the less smart version. I feel like the moon was here to help us level up in humanity, make us more evolved, make us understand the connection between spirituality and 3D reality. This is so weird. Whatever plan they had, it didn't work. Or at least it didn't go the way they thought it was. Yeah, because I'm hearing in my more than you bargained for yet. So, and I'm seeing that thing again about God like wiping out the board and then starting over again. I think this was also during a time where people were fleeing from, and by people I mean any form of life being that can walk and talk to some degree. It feels like someone was fleeing. What is this? Burden not worth having. Why does this feel like someone was trying to run from their planet? This is so weird. What? I feel like I'm trapped. I feel like I have to defend myself. I'm sad. There's no growth to be had here. Dictator. I wonder if in the beginning they were trying to figure out a way to... Oh my God, because remember in the beginning I was drawn to how like the air isn't healthy here for certain ETs. So I'm almost wondering if they were trying to make... It feels... Because I'm hearing backup generator. And you know how like in the wintertime if your lights go out, you could turn on the backup generator? I feel like Earth was the backup generator to whatever these ETs were. It's like whatever planet these beings came from, they were in a war of some sort, and they were trying to find a third option. It's like I see two beings going to war and it's like we got to get out of here. I almost feel like this could have been the breakdown of a society on another planet. And so they came here to try and recreate the living situation that they had. This could be why people say that there's a lot of human hybrids, the people that are really into ETs and studying. I feel like it's because there was an alien race that tried to run away because they were in the middle of a war. And they were being forced out of their living environment. And they didn't have anywhere else to go. I keep hearing the song, No Tears Left to Cry. So I'm picking it up. I'm picking it up. I feel like the original goal was to create a healthy environment for whatever this being was that was losing its planet. But then it just feels like it quickly went from like trying to save our species to realizing that we could harvest new life forms here. So it's like, this is so weird. Hold on. Yeah. Accepting conflict and moving on. Slow, steady growth. Okay, this is so... I hope you guys are enjoying wearing your tinfoil hats this Monday morning. Well, evening when I put it out. Yeah, so I feel like... I feel like there was an ET race that had a war with another ET race. And they were losing. And so they were like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song, I got to get through this. I got to make it out of here. And they were like, we can make something else somewhere else. And so they were trying to create the form of life that they had wherever they lived onto our planet. Did it work? Because it seems like because I'm seeing like white flag, and now I'm hearing the song White Flag. So I feel like they surrendered in this war. This is going to be so out there, y'all. I'm sorry. You asked. So I'm never going to tell you anything other than what I see. And what I see is a war between worlds. And one group giving up and trying to start a civilization here that could home them. It's because I'm seeing the movie 2012 in my mind's eye. Like, for anyone who hasn't seen that, like, they find out that the world's ending in 2012 and they're just trying to figure out where to go, and they find like ships, and then they get on the ships, and it's very much like that. Like the world is ending, we gotta go. We're gonna pack up our stuff. Like, I'm seeing people running from their houses with like suitcases of stuff, grab everything you can. And now we're on the ships, and now we're trying to figure out where to go from here. Like, it's the same energy of like running away from an abusive home and only grabbing a couple of things and then just getting out. It's like, we're not even going to worry about it. We're going to figure it out as we go. This is what this feels like. This is so bizarre. Yeah, it's like forced out of my comfort zone. We got to create something else. Yeah, listen, I know this is weird, but I stand by what I said. So they started building here. They weren't happy about it. I feel like when they first got to Earth, they knew that the living environment wasn't good for them, which is why I see them like... Because I'm seeing Bruce Almighty, the movie Bruce Almighty, where he like harnesses the moon and he pulls it in and then he fixes the sky and makes it just right. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, we're making it just right. We're making it fit us. We're making it fit our needs. It's not livable. So I wonder if like they tried and it didn't work with the temperance in reverse. So maybe they just got busy making other life forms, or maybe that was a byproduct of trying to survive here, was other life forms coming. Abuse of power. It's not working. Yeah, whatever they were trying to do here, it didn't work. They were trying to create a new establishment. They were removed from wherever it is that they were without wanting to, because this is left out in the cold. When it's in the reverse, it's like I'm being forced out. Eight of Pentacles is work. It's not working. It's in the reverse. Ten of Pentacles is building a solid foundation. Again, not working. So what I feel like they did is they came over here. It's very much like because now I'm seeing like, what's it called? I'm hearing stowaways, but what I'm seeing is like running for the border, like Mexican border, like running for the border, trying to save myself. So again, I feel like some ET form was trying to save itself and create a habitable place here for them to, because I'm hearing ostracized. Some alien form was ostracized from where they were, and so they tried to create life here. But they tried to also create a habitable world for them, but they did not succeed in that. Yeah. I think whatever these ET forms are, I think they moved on. I think they went somewhere else. I think they realized they couldn't get what they needed here, and so they left. They were very disappointed. This doesn't work. This is not helping us grow. This isn't healthy for us. So I feel like, again, like I'm just being drawn to like Earth being like a junk drawer. It's like, you know how like when you run out of things, you're looking for something specific. And I don't know. I feel like it's a running joke that all white people have a junk drawer, but I got some Spanish in me and I have a junk drawer. But maybe it's the white in me. I don't know. But it's just, it's this energy of like, Earth is like, I'm hearing like last resort, and I'm being drawn to my fool's gold. It's like when ETs are out of ideas, it's like they come here to find shit. I don't know. This is so weird. Oh my God, I hear it, y'all. But it's like they come here to find stuff. And now I'm being drawn to my spoon, which is like copper. So maybe they're looking for copper, nickel. Now I'm seeing the table of elements in my mind's eye. So what the hell's going on? There's something about Earth that's like the equivalent of a junk drawer for space. That's the only way I know how to explain this. Huh. Okay. They might have been able to go back to their planet with the Wheel of Fortune being here, and then Devil in reverse, and then Ten of Cups, family and home life. When the time was right, we disconnected and went back home. This is so bizarre. Y'all, I thought we were just going to be talking about the moon. I'm sorry. I guess we're talking about ETs. Everything ET over on this channel. Like and subscribe. But yeah, like, look, notice the little devil guy. It's like we were waiting for our time to go back home. So maybe they were, okay. So maybe they were just kind of waiting out the storm. Because this feels like they went back to wherever it was. Like, it's like we waited it out. Because, like, I'm being drawn to, like, the Holocaust. And how, like, there's still survivors. I feel like whoever it was, these ET forms, I feel like they ran away, waited it out, whatever war this was. I feel like they waited it out over here. They made the living environment as close to what they could do as possible. And then they waited out the storm. And then when the war was over, they went back home. This is so weird. Oh my God, this is so weird. But I feel like whoever it was that came here, they were the good guys, and the other ones were the bad guys, if we're counting that. With the devil being in reverse, it's like disconnecting from something unhealthy and toxic. So I would say that whatever this ET was, could it be Arcturian? I don't know why I'm hearing Arcturian. Avalonian? I don't know. It's just some sort of ET race. Yeah, it's like we went back home to fight. We saw what was left. I think they eventually went back to their home planet, and I feel like it was kind of heartbreaking because a lot of things didn't survive. We'll just say people, but obviously it's going to be a different species or whatever. A lot of things didn't survive. They came to fight, but it was too late. It's like I feel like at the height of their war, I know this sounds so wild, but y'all, this is what they're keeping from you, allegedly. I feel like at the height of their war, a lot of big guns left. So, like, you know, their version of, like, important people, they left to keep safe. And then they waited out the war, and then they went back to fight when it calmed down. But when they got there, it had already ended. Lives were lost. Like, I'm hearing, like, bloodshed, and I'm seeing, like, just bodies everywhere, which is really sad. But they did go back to their planet eventually. Yeah, it's like we couldn't even fight anymore. Now we got to start over. I feel like they started over again back on their planet. Yeah, so I know this was weird. What is the back deck energy? Yeah, it's like they wanted to start a new beginning here because we had a fertile land back then. I feel like something about our land was very fertile back then. It was healthier than it is today. I think throughout time it's gotten worse because we've damaged the ecosystems, what I'm hearing. I heard ecosystem the moment I started talking. Yeah, because eventually, you know, power structures took over and stuff like that. But now it feels like it's like they just watch us to see how we level up, to see if we choose, because anybody that reads tarot, like Empress gives a lot of like self-care, right? She's someone who takes care of herself. She's someone who follows her heart beat of her own drum, whereas the Hierophant, that's someone who follows religion, structure, what is told to them, conformity. Oh my God, it literally says conform on there. I love these cards. So I feel like right now, with this Fool card and all this on the back of the deck, this is giving me this feeling of like, you guys are about to embrace on a new journey. So I feel like they might be watching us again now. I feel like they go in and out. It's kind of like I said, it's like a gas station on a highway. They kind of watch us. Right now they're trying to see whether we're going to go left or right, whether we're going to go back into union with ourselves or we're going to keep falling for money and how it doesn't make us happy. That's what this is about. I guess they wanted to go big picture. They're like, here, yes, the moon's a satellite. Let's get to the point. But it's like they watch us now because it's like, are you guys going to level up and follow your intuition and rise? Or are you going to keep following the structures that have been keeping you like complacent, keeping you believing that you have to follow something higher than yourself? That's what this energy is. It's like we are in, because I'm being drawn to like Age of Aquarius. And it's like we're in a new beginning right now where we have the ability to take back control of our lives so long as we choose to. Otherwise, we're going to fall down this path again. And I'm seeing like, I hate to say it, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing like the Great Depression. I'm seeing like prices rising, people being homeless, stuff like that. I think they're very concerned. You know what I'm seeing is like people watching like a really big Super Bowl. That's the vibe of this. It's like there are ETs in the moon that are watching us kind of like a Super Bowl to see if we're going to go left or right, to see if we're going to choose ourselves and level up so that they can make communication with us, so that we can be more evolved, or if we're going to keep following this and be slaves to the system. That's literally what I'm getting from this. I can't not see it. Any final card? What is this? Yeah, it's like we could choose to stay stuck in this system that doesn't work, where all we use is our ego and we don't deal with our emotions and we think that money's going to solve everything. Or we can realize that we have to stay in our power, be strong, but also acknowledge that being in our feminine energy matters too. So like, you know, feeling your feelings, dealing with your shit versus like putting a Band-Aid over it, putting money on it, putting more shit, more things. It's like we're in a place right now where we have the choice to level up or keep going downhill. And I'm being drawn to this and how it looks like DNA. So I feel like we're also leveling up because I'm hearing like Schumann resonance. I feel like this went in 5 different directions, but there's nothing I can do about it. I feel like with this DNA thing, it's almost like we have the choice to level up and like activate something inside of us to make us, because what I'm being drawn to is how like the more you let go of pain, the more old things will come up for you. So you could keep getting rid of all that stuff. And then like, for instance, channeling becomes a lot easier because I wasn't someone who channeled 4 or 5 years ago, but then I started healing and then I got better at channeling because I was healing the shit that was going on. So I feel like that's what this is about. I know this took a turn, but yes, the moon's a satellite because forever this place has been a place for souls to develop and learn and decide if they want to be stuck or if they want to realize that life is what you make of it. It's what I'm hearing. It's like you create your own reality, but it's up to you to decide what you're going to create. Yeah, it's like the fighting was over and they went back home, but they still watch us because that's part of why they created life, to see what would happen here, to see if this, because this almost feels like it's a backup planet. You know what I mean? It's like the charger in your car. If you don't have a charger, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you lose your main charger, you always got that backup charger. That's kind of what Earth feels like. It's like the backup. It's like when I run out of all other options, I'm going to go to Earth. And it feels like they put the moon out there because it was going to help develop better ways of living and better ways for them to stay here for a little while longer or cohabitate. Something to do with the moon helped foster life. It helped really create the life forms in which they want. These are like really smart scientists, ETs. Like these guys are like next level. We don't understand. Like me trying to channel this, like I'm giving you like a bootleg version really because they're just so smart. They're so above us. But yeah, like I said, just summing it up real quick. This feels like the moon was either made around the same time as the pyramids or made by the same beings as pyramids, something like that. But or maybe it's just kind of like a don't you see how pyramids aren't made by humans? So that maybe you could kind of put it in your head that the moon might be made by ETs, something like that. But it's just giving this energy of like the asteroid belt. I keep being drawn to the asteroid belt. And it's like, don't they have this theory that the asteroid belt is formed of like potentially a broken planet? Because what I'm seeing is like we're picking up the scraps and we're making a planet of our own. It's like Play-Doh almost. And then we make this planet and we stick it right there because that's where it belongs. I'm seeing Bruce Almighty again where he's like, perfect, this looks great right here. But then I'm seeing calculations and it's like somehow the level of which, how far it is, also being drawn to like, isn't there this theory that like when things hit the moon, it rings like a bell? That's because there's things inside of it. There's beings inside of it. It's an observatory. It's like they're showing me my college and how, well, back when I went to college and how like there was an observatory for astronomy because I took that class. It's like that. It's like they watch. That's what it's there for. It's to watch us. It's to help develop life. There's something about, it's like the perfect storm. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like if you have fish, for instance, like aquatic fish, and you have to have like heaters and light bulbs and stuff like that because otherwise they can't survive. It's the same idea. It's like something to do with the moon and the pull and the gravitational, whatever the hell, all of that put together is like this perfect storm to create life on Earth. The level of life that they wanted at that time frame. The level of life that could also sort of sustain them for a short amount of time while they were dealing with whatever war it was that they were going through. But then it ended and they went back home. So I don't even know if, I feel like it was a mixture. Like they ran here, but then it was also like, hey, while we're here, like let's create new life. You know what I mean? I feel like they were stuck here for a while because again, I'm being drawn to like dad in a tool shed tinkering with this stuff. It's like I got nothing else to do kind of thing. So I feel like that's what happened. So you know what? I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, is there any, oh, I'll pull oracles and then we'll call it a day. All right, so let's see if we get any final messages. This is the Yin Yang Oracle deck. Oh my goodness, nope. What was that, out of curiosity? Separation. Longing. Yeah, I feel like something was kicked out of its home. One more. And for those that want to know, this is the Yin Yang Oracle deck. Just a reminder, if you enjoy this reading, please give it a like. It really does support my channel. Helps other people find my videos as well, especially considering I don't even know how to tell people about this video. Anyway. Dude, how creepy is that? Y'all saw me shuffle. Y'all saw me shuffle, and it was 111 on my camera. Oh, that's so creepy. But I'm being drawn to the shadow side. It's like, you guys aren't dumb. Notice how this planet doesn't move? Why doesn't it move? Because it's a satellite. That's so funny. The first card I pull is the moon. Lack and doubts. Yeah, it's like there was something going on where they lived. Because notice all this, like, this fire, or not fire, I'm sorry, clouds. But, like, look how underneath is this beautiful green. I feel like they tried to create life here because wherever they were, there was too much uncertainty. There was too much looming, just shit going down, for lack of a better word. Travel. Look, travel's literally, Mercury's travel, communication. They fled. They fled. They didn't want to. That's why this is in reverse. They fled from where they lived because they had no other choice. Yes, they were fighting. There was a war. There's really a war. There was a war. I don't know what the war was about. It feels like power, to be honest with you. Growth. Yeah, and so they decided to grow here. Notice the sun. It just looks like expansion is what I feel from this card. It's like we can expand here. We can see what'll become of this. Yeah, but they wanted to go home. It's like, yeah, we could create life here, but I want to go home. Like I keep hearing the song Michael Bublé, Let Me Go Home. Memories. Literally, dude. It's just, Earth wasn't their home, but they created life here so that they could exist while they waited out the storm. Yeah, they just didn't know when they could go back. That's the problem. It was like, I don't know, because I see them meditating. I feel like they could astral project or something like that. They were waiting, trying to figure out what to do. I think they got a little attached to Earth. They got comfortable is what I'm hearing, because I'm being drawn to how these look like rose-colored glasses. It's like, Yeah, because I keep hearing Michael Bublé home. It's like they created a living environment that's sustained on Earth, but they wanted to go home. It's not the same, you know? Like, imagine if you brought all of your stuff to, like, wherever, you know, vacation, but eventually you're like, I want to be home. That's where they were at. Yeah. It's like they held back their energy. They were done fighting because masculine would be a fighting energy. So they retreated their energy. They pulled back. They didn't want to fight. I feel because I'm hearing docile. So I feel like these beings are more about love and light than they are about like war. Yeah, they were. It's what I'm seeing is like I'm seeing like football and like I'm on the sidelines and I'm drinking some water, some Powerade, trying to get my energy back before I go back. That's the vibe of this. It's so bizarre. Yeah, they waited for it to end before they could go back. Because look at how it almost looks like blood, right? It's like they had to wait for the storm to settle. Yeah, I stick by what I said. They didn't want to fight, so they walked away. But eventually they went back home because that's where they wanted to be. Yeah, because now I'm hearing the song No Place I'd Rather Be. Past, lack, suffering. Yeah, this is a back deck energy. Whatever was going on in their planet, they were struggling, so they came here and they created heaven on earth, basically. What is this? Nurture. Yeah, just like I said before, because they were in a war. There was no growth to be had wherever. They needed some place that they could go, let their guard down, feel safe. But this wasn't something that they could live on forever. It wasn't their home. They couldn't build here fully, so they kind of abandoned, and it's the energy of like a petri dish. It's like we're the petri dish. They're creating life here, but how it started was a lost civilization that came here to get a breather before they came back to their home to fix what had went wrong because there was a war and their planet was, I don't know that it was destroyed. I feel like their version of a human race was destroyed. So they had to rebuild, but they didn't have to stay here forever. But yeah, that's why the moon's here, y'all. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that. I know this sounded next level nuts, but that's okay because I'm not looking for what sounds appeasing. I'm looking for the truth. So if you enjoyed that video, please give it a like. It really does support my channel. It helps me to know that you guys like these types of creepy readings because I enjoy them very much and I'd love to keep making these. But as always, if you enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. It really does support my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys so much. Thank you to my regulars. I appreciate you guys. And if you're not, I hope you could join our little fun squad over here. Comment down below anything you would like to share or if you've heard any theories that sound similar to this. And yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Links are all down below. If you'd like to book a personal reading, links are all down below. But I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you for watching. Love you.
The Comet, the